Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing some cool stuff. We're going to be going to Bevelle. I figured, right, where can we go that will be kind of, like, intriguing? And I think Bevelle will be a really good choice. But we're going to check out some other stuff on the airship just first. Actually, first we'll head down to Owaka and have another little talk to him. I want to point out something to you guys about his debts. But also, it'll probably be worth us having a look at the dossiers too. Just to fill some more up before the list gets absolutely incredibly ridiculous and we have to spend, like, way too long on there. So yeah. Anyway, yesterday I uploaded the first episode of the series. Yeah, it went pretty well. A lot of you guys were super pumped to see it, and you'd like leave your comment like, "Oh yeah, this is amazing," and then immediately like later be like, "Wait, what the hell did I just watch?" Oh man, I don't know. I can't spend the entire first episode basically apologizing for the weird as hell intro, do you know what I mean? So I just throw it out there, and I promise you guys, by the end, especially of chapter 2, the story is suddenly like, whoa, what the hell is happening? And it can be really really gripping. It just depends if people can hang on that long. Anyway, hello Owaka. So yeah, as you can see, I explained yesterday, he's got 900,999 debt right now, basically. One thing I never pointed out, I believe, is that as you pay his debt off, his wares do become cheaper. If you guys didn't play the last game, or if you don't really remember, we had a very similar situation where we could pay off big debts for him, or they were startup costs last game, basically. And by doing this, eventually prices for other stuff he was selling would go right down, and it really is the same situation here. Problem is, we don't have much money, only 970 gil. I'll explain how we're going to get loads of money very soon. But yeah, just sort of pointing that out. I want to, really lay that down there. So there you go. It's on 98,000 now. We do have accessories we can sell. The game is very liberal with the kind of accessories it gives you. You do tend to get multiple copies if you're stealing a lot. Now, one thing I think is just so fantastic about this game is that the stuff you steal from enemies, it's not like lame, oh, this is a fire gem, this is just a stupid little, like, grenade or whatever. They're proper accessories, and if you steal from certain bosses and don't forget about it, you can get really nice gear and multiple copies of gear and things. Anyway, so yeah, that's Owaka. Let's have a very quick look at the dossiers. And we will absolutely head on down to Bevelle. I've got some really fun stuff to show you guys. A great example of how obscure and weird this game can be mechanically. Anyway, so we never looked at Barkeep before. I feel kind of bad. He's the last guy on the Celsius we haven't really talked about yet.
Our Barkeep's a Hypello.
So, yeah, this is the guy everybody seems to be racist to because they don't even know his name. But a Hypello that has worked aboard the Celsius since brother took him in. His most likely unremarkable past remains shrouded in mystery. Now, that kind of sets up the idea that you'll find out a lot about his past. I don't really think you do, though there is some very interesting character development with him later on. So, yeah, anyway, that's Barkeep. It makes me think, actually, do we ever get any Hypello names at all? I wonder if the world builders or whatever, the creators of the story here, just didn't want to go to the effort of figuring out naming conventions and stuff for them. Then when we went to Besaid, we got these three appear on the dossiers here, so let's have a look at them. The first is Waka.
I'm going to be a father soon. Got to have a little more presence,
Right, he says he's a blitzball player who once served as Yuna's guardian. With the fierce battle against Sin behind him, Waka is now bracing himself for the fiercer battle of fatherhood. I find it so sad and weird that in the international version of the game, you can't get him back in your party. You can get so many people to fight for you, like including Lulu, including Kamari, and it's just weird that Waka isn't one of them. It's like, why? If the others are there. But whatever. Lulu, speaking of which.
I'm not there, so you can spread your wings?
Something like that. A black mage who supported Yuna as a guardian, and more importantly as a sister of sorts. She lives on Besaid Island with her husband Waka. We missed the wedding and everything. And finally the Aurochs.
Captain!
Besaid's blitzball team, the Besaid Aurochs. Its members include Datto, Letty, Jasu, Botta, and Keeper. Kind of cool that you see multiple characters here in this weird place. Now, where you're actually looking at these people appear as we view the different dossiers, this actually will become an arena. Do you remember how in the last game we had the monster arena? Shinra, in the international version of this game, will also open his own kind of monster arena. And there are various cups and tournaments you can participate in, and they're all set in like this big spherical area you can see here that the Aurochs stood in. But we'll get to the international stuff in a little bit. I don't want to like go crazy with it, as exciting as that stuff is. Alright, so Riku says Owaki's in the cabin. We already did that last episode. Brother will rarely change his dialogue. Usually only when time moves forward he'll do that. Let's go speak to Buddy. who's still trying to push us over to Zanarkand. Just another example of, imagine if this was your entry to the Final Fantasy series. Just think about that. Like, some of you guys even left comments saying things to similar effects. It's like, it would be crazy. It would be so hard to keep up. I find it really weird, the idea of people maxing out 100%ing this game, and it's their very first ever Final Fantasy. Weird thought. Anyway, right, so we still got a bunch of places we can go. I'm going to take us to Bevelle first. Bevelle in the last game was a very prominent location. It's basically the capital of Spirit, the largest city in Spirit at the very least. The headquarters of Yevon in the previous game, and something else in this game. And even though it's such a significant plot location, we can actually explore it as a regular city, like we could explore Luca. Well, in Final Fantasy X-2, we can. So it says there's no missions here. It says New Yevon is set up in New Yevon. They organised not long after the calm came. Let's go somewhere else. Okay, so we don't really like Yevon that much, but you know, these are new people, a new organisation. Let's try and view them with a blank slate. I was always very nice about Yevon in the last game, always trying to find the loophole that made them look like the good guys. I'll be doing it again here. Not necessarily that they're bad guys. God, it's like I'm putting my foot in my mouth, but I'm not really. I promise you.
Bevelle remains at the heart of Spira, even today. It's also the place where I was born. I suppose that makes it my hometown, but I can't say that I have a lot of fond memories here.
Yep, so Yuna grew up on Besaid, spent most of her time on Besaid, but she was born here. This place takes a very interesting look. You can already see the flying cars and stuff zooming around. Now that Machina is so much more openly embraced, you do get this more kind of Star Wars-y sci-fi look about the area. And it's something that really seeps into Final Fantasy as a series a lot in future games, like in a big, big way. Anyway, there's this dude here. We're currently on the High Bridge. Some pretty climactic events appeared here previously. This game is just like a guided place. We're obviously not at odds with these people anymore. So we can speak to this dude, though, and he says, feel free to use the lift if you like, Herr Summoner. And I'm going to say no thanks, because I want to talk to these lovely people down here. Basically, that lift will just move you along this waterway here on the right. And this dude says, Bevelle is impenetrable. Its citizens are safe in our hands. We'll show those wet-behind-the-ears Youth League scum a thing or two. Youth League? Okay, so apparently they've got beef with someone. There's a couple more guards just down here, standing their posts. Last episode in Macalania Forest, you guys saw two guards in the woods saying, oh, I just stand here all day doing nothing. This is like the end of the road that they were stood on. The Youth League invited me to join, but this is my home. I wanted to protect it. That's why I'm with New Yevon. Ah, so it's this or that? Hi, Summoner! Welcome to Bevelle! Welcome home! Of course, because we are famous, in Eternal Calm there is a clip that basically talks about how this new get-up we have, this new look we have, yes, it's Yuna, you know, embracing her freedom, her femininity to an extent, but it's also supposed to be like she's trying to be kind of incognito-ish. One of the big reasons she changed her look. My grandpa is way over there. I guess he's the lift operator. So yeah, Bevelle, can we go inside now? Previously, as far as we could get was to this entrance. Things have already changed quite a lot on the outside anyway. Another dude, it says it's daunting to think about how much the people of Bevelle rely on me. Yes, those that have the ability to change might indeed know happiness. And this guy over here says, it is an honor to speak with you. You're damn right it's an honor. Hell yeah, I'm not humble, I'm the High Summoner. This guy says, can't let our guard down. No sir, we must be on constant alert. Absolutely. Welcome. New Yevon Headquarters is right through here. And this dude says, the hand you extend to Yevon is the hand that shall save us. So we'll head in. Kind of interesting. How do I talk about stuff with this place without spoiling future things? Whatever. I guess I'll just say it's really cool to be able to come here. And, yeah, we get a cutscene. Showing off a little bit of the new map there, no actual dialogue. But yeah, this was a place that never appeared in Final Fantasy X. The actual interior of Bevelle, with no one being angry with us. Even with the calm here, we must be vigilant to be the guards of the city. We worked hard to restore the city after Sin fell on it. Yeah, so you've got to remember that. I think that's a really big moment of Bevelle's like history as a town. I'm sorry, I'm burping there because I ate a pork pie before recording. That's a big part of like Bevelle's history as a city. You know, a freaking Sin landed on it, and they've been repairing it, and we don't really get too much of that story. Lady Yuna, please, this way. Oh, Hey, I actually didn't press X to talk to her. This lady says, Lady Yuna, it is truly an honor.
Oh,
Hey.
the High Summoner. I see you finally decided to join New Yevon. You do us much honor, my lady. Lord Braska, may he rest in peace, would be proud. I will summon the Praetor immediately. I beg your leave.
Pushy, isn't he?
I thought we were just sort of hanging out.
We should leave.
Hey, what's the matter, Uni?
Well, you see, there was this arrangement, with the son of the chairman of New Yevon. I turned the offer down, but I thought it'd be kind of awkward.
Yuna?
You're probably right. Let's go.
Huh? No, wait, hey! Oh...
Bit of conflict with the three girls there. We actually haven't had them talking that much in the past couple of episodes. That arrangement, by the way, yes, was marriage. Someone proposed to Yuna in the last 2 years. And no, it wasn't this guy.
A pleasure, Lady Yuna. I am Baralai, Praetor of New Yevon.
So, you're the chairman's son?
Ah, as it happens, the chairman has recently resigned, as did his son, the Praetor. They were trying to take too much power. We had to ask them to leave. Now the younger members run the party, by mutual consensus, of course.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So you see, Lady Yuna, it is not I that was meant to marry the High Summoner.
Oh, my.
Not that we wouldn't appreciate your support. On the contrary, you'd be most welcome. I understand if your feelings toward Yevon are mixed. But I would hope that you could put that aside and join our cause. The world is changing, and there are many who are finding it difficult to keep up. New Yevon wishes to help those who feel lost in the winds of change. If you'll excuse me, there are matters which require my attention. Oh, and should you come across any spheres of Spirus past, please do let us know.
Payne's been like really cold there, just facing the other way. I guess she doesn't like Yevon very much either.
So, what do you think?
What? Pain?
I think I've heard enough. What now?
Curious. So, yeah, that's Baralai. Let me just be clear, okay? Yevon collapsed at the end of the previous game. New Yevon was founded. It was founded by a man who later went missing. This is information I'm telling you. The games haven't told you yet, but I'm just telling you now because it will make more sense, okay? The guy that founded New Yevon actually just completely disappeared. Nobody knows what's happened to him. Then, a chairman was elected to be in charge, and his son. The chairman's son actually proposed to Yuna sometime in the past 2 years, and then because they were trying to take too much power, they were being a bit too corrupt, a bit too much like old Yevon, I guess. Many of the younger members said, no, you've got to go. And now Baralai, this young guy, is the Praetor, the dude in charge of New Yevon. Baralai's voice actor, I freaking love. You won't have picked it up too much in that cutscene, but the dude has got such talent. There is a scene later that is phenomenal, one of the highlights of the entire game for me, and it's literally just his delivery of a line. Funnily enough, the guy that does the voice acting for Baralai 2, his younger brother also plays a prominent character in this game, and that character is like my favourite guy in the entire game. I have different favourites for different reasons. Like, brother is one of my favourites just because he is so outlandish and ridiculous and embarrassing and cringeworthy. I love him so much. But in terms of like sort of a bit more serious characters, believable characters, people with personality, my god, this unnamed dude I'm talking about, which I probably shouldn't be talking about yet, really takes the cake. Anyway, what am I doing? There is a chest. Hold on, let me go back in. I don't know why I'm running away. I think there is a chest for us to collect. Un momento. Yeah, okay, so there's this door here. Yeah, okay, good. We can actually go into the door. There's a lot more to Bevelle. I wasn't just walking back because... but yeah, so we can actually come in here. I think a few things should be locked out to us at this point. There's a bunch of monk dudes here, though. So this kind of explains what was going on in the Besaid Temple. These are members of New Yevon. The chairman who just resigned was our second after Lord Tremor. Lord Tremor, the chairman who just resigned, was our second after Lord Tremor. So Lord Tremor was the founder. We now have that name. You only get that name by speaking to this one NPC in this one chapter if you come here to Bevelle. Otherwise, you don't get that name for like ages. Anyway, so there you go. That's that dude. Those having business with Praetor Barreleye should take the lift. So do we want to talk to Barreleye again? I don't know. You might actually recognize this room if you've got really good eyes. Yevon must repay the people of Spira for leading them astray with false teachings. Well, at least they're repentant. This guy says that, well, we ask you mind yourselves while riding the lift. There, you'll also notice on the map there's various like side chambers and stuff. I guess we'll go explore. No, yeah, they don't let us in, do they? So this guy here says, no unauthorized entry. You know, there's an NPC up there above us. We can't go up there and talk to him. Actually, he's a little bit like the Guado. He's an NPC that walks in an area we can never actually go to talk to. Which I like. Final Fantasy X, did you notice that? Never had an NPC in the game you couldn't actually talk to. If there was an NPC there, they had dialogue. They were specifically put in a place designed by the developers that would allow you to walk over to them. Sorry, no admittance beyond this point. In this game, just because they appreciate it as more ambience, more flavor to the world, they actually they're not scared to do this kind of thing. Anyway, by walking into this lift, it will take us up. And up here you can find Barreleye. He says, oh my god, I could actually imitate his voice acting, can I? They may call me Praetor, but this job requires me to be a jack of all trades. Oh my god, that's so bad. It's not much for here. I have this as a token of my friendship. Okay, it's not a chest, it's this guy. We get the tiara. He says, not that I would ever think you were one to be swayed by simple gifts. Is this a bribe? Everyone in the party is willing to devote their lives to building a new Spira. That's kind of funny because FFX had such an easy excuse for giving us items. It's, hey, you're the summoner. You're trying to save the world. Have shit. Go, go, go. In this game, they need to be a bit more careful about it. We're all taking part in running New Yevon these days. So it's a lot more democratic, I would guess. All right, anyway, let's have a look at this tiara we got. I guess we'll put it on Yuna. And replace the yellow ring. Let's scroll up, I guess. Here we go. So this raises our magic and magic defense by +5. It's still, you know, early game stuff. It's not too amazing, but it's missable. All right, now we're sort of done for now. There is more to Bevelle. As you can see, though, we're locked out for now. There, if you've been watching the map in the top left, particularly in this outside map, you'll notice another walkway we could be going on, but there's actually no way to climb up just yet. It will have to come all in due time. So yeah, I'm going to see you guys back on the airship for our next location. Which is going to be another little easy one, a little one where we can have a chat with some people and there's no real mission there just yet. You'll notice actually that they're a lot more sparing with save spheres. It would be crazy in the previous game for me to have to walk this far just to get back to the airship or save or whatever. In this game they are a bit less common. I'm not saying that makes the game harder. I think in general this game is... I don't know, FFX was actually very easy. This game's probably about on par, and the optional stuff in this game is way harder. Anyway, so we can talk to the girls again. Barreleye's really got his act together. Don't you think our going men should start taking note? Payne says Barreleye was putting on an act. No one that nice could ever become a praetor. Wow, she really doesn't like them. Why? What is her past, I wonder? We'll come over to Buddy. And so the next area I'm going to take us to isn't like phenomenally exceptional. We're going to be going to the Thunder Plains. And here at the Thunder Plains it says there's no mission, but there's never a sunny day on the Thunder Plains. I heard Riku used to hate the place. We did already hear in a previous episode that because now Machina is a thing, the Albed are free to work on the Lightning Rod Towers and there's no longer danger there, which is cool. I certainly like the idea because it would make sense given last game we heard that the Albed had created these towers in the first place.
Guess what? Riku finally overcame her fear of thunder. Know how? She said she camped out here for a week.
Wow. That would have been a fun game. If that was X-2, yeah, we're just hanging out in the Thunder Plains. So, not too much is different here. We will be getting random encounters, but because there's still thunder, the storm is still eternal. However, these towers are all like proper calibrated. They're amazing now. So, you never actually have to dodge the lightning in the traditional sense while wandering around the Thunder Plains. There are similar mechanics as stuff happens. There are different things to do here, but right now it's pretty much okay. So we got a couple of enemies. We got a Bicantia, Lesser Drake. I guess I'll steal from one of them. Largely, I don't know whether I'll really be showing you guys many of these battles. I'll probably just spam through this stuff. I don't want to sort of highlight some of these abilities a bit better that we get. So Riku, though, as a thief, she doesn't really learn abilities very quickly. Thief was the last dress sphere I actually had to max out all the abilities on. It took me... oh god, until like literally the final battle of the game for her to unlock her final skill as a thief. And that was playing purely thief the entire way through the game. Now, granted, on my test file so far, I hadn't actually done any of the side stuff. I just sort of rushed through the game. But still, it shows it does take a long time. Warrior, you can max out very quickly. For what it's worth, there are tier lists of classes, dress spheres that are good in different chapters. And Warrior is one of the highest. There we saw the camera zoom into Payne's face actually at the end of the battle. That, again, I don't know whether I mentioned this or cut it out of a previous episode, but that's a change that only occurred in the international version. Makes it feel a lot more similar to X, I guess, in many ways. But yeah, Warrior, you max out the skills quickly, and if you want to complete the game fast and easily, they're high defense, they're high damage. You don't have to mess around in menus too much to play them. You can just sort of spam your way through and do a lot of damage. And so Warriors tend to be very, very high on the tier list. There's a couple of new classes as well introduced with the international version of the game. Festivalist is one that we've already got. We can already get the other one too if we do the right stuff. But those are also very powerful too. For example, Festivalist actually, if you put it on Yuna, she gets different abilities than Riku or Pain would get, which is not normal for a dress sphere. But this fact, so over here you'll see something's changed. There's some rocks that have fallen down on the cliff on the right. Oh, another Chocobo! Check it out! And we got ambushed. So the Chocobo ran away in this ambush. Got cold feet, did you? I don't think your fiend friend will really appreciate that. I like the idea that the Chocobos are just roaming around Spira now and they don't really care about fiends. It's kind of cool. They just sort of live in harmony. The Chocobos even are fiends, maybe, to an extent. Just passive fiends. Oh, we're going to get a lot in this game about fiends too, guys. Fiends are people, basically, right? Because they're the dead the Fireflies are stuck about, and then they turn into fiends. And this game, the international stuff, lets you... Shinra will develop an invention that allows us to look inside their mind and, listen to their human thoughts. It's so cool. It's amazing. So, yeah, that's kind of a morbid twist on what we're currently doing. We're killing these guys. But, yeah, back to the Dress Sphere stuff. If you get Festivalist and train it right, put it on Yuna, it's actually stronger than Black Mage. It, totally outshines the Black Mage in this game. But, Warrior is a really solid choice, as are a few others. Hopefully I'll demonstrate them to you. We'll just get a couple of episodes getting used to these first 3 classes, Then once you guys are happy with it, you've seen the majority of them, we'll move on. And that's when it's going to be very exciting for me, because this is all I've been playing. Anyway, no issues with Riku there. We're getting a fair few levels here too. Don't forget, this is another thing about the game. If you do all of the side stuff, you end up leveling up quite a lot. And it makes the necessary stuff. So look, Ochu's, man. Ochu's here. Now, we know geographically that Ochu's have been kind of close to this area. The Moonflow is not far away, but presumably the storms always kept them away in the previous game. Well, now that the lightning isn't a threat, a couple of them come up. I think this is a really cool idea. I don't think it's just them randomly slapping enemies in. Sometimes the game does feel like that, don't get me wrong. But, this one at least makes sense. We're being poisoned here. We do have accessories that can make us poison-proof. One thing about 10.2, though, is we can't actually swap our accessories in battle. I think that's a mistake. That's the first thing I'll come out now. I really do think that they made a mistake with this game there. Why can't we swap our accessories in battle? That should make sense. Cost us a turn. It would add a bit more depth, right? Oh my god, has Riku just been stealing this? Oh no, so Riku's confused. Check it out. So that was something very special we just saw. Confuse has changed in this game. It's no longer just, oh, I randomly attack my allies or the enemies, right? Now they do loads of stuff. They will randomly use many of their different abilities. They'll randomly throw items. Sometimes it's damaging items on enemies. Sometimes it's damaging items on us. Sometimes they'll throw potions at enemies. Sometimes they'll throw, mega elixirs on the team, even though everyone's on max health and max MP. There's loads more depth to it with confusion now. Your characters really do feel like they are confused and they don't know what the hell is going on. Anyway, we're going to say, actually, we'll save next. So here's the travel agency. Site of where we had to dodge 200 lightning before. Some kind of interesting music here. And there's just a couple of people to talk to. This rotund guy says, "You hungry? Ah, boy, sure I am." Yeah, you want a double mac with cheese? This guy says, "The Albed have really helped us by fixing all the broken lightning rod towers. But to tell you the truth, sometimes I wonder how fixed they really are." Ooh, foreshadowing. Scary. Ah, yes, the lightning rod towers. They were built a long time ago by a truly great man. Okay, who? Do you know who that great man was? His name? Well, I just didn't want to bore you with all the details, that's sure. Okay, right. They still call this place the Thunder Plains, but the lightning never reaches the plains anymore. Yep, absolutely. So anyway, this person says, "Welcome to Rin's Travel Agency." We can ask her if she's selling anything. Now, you remember in Besaid how we could buy a blue ring, which allowed us to be resistant to water and cast water, tier 1 black magic. And we also had the watery gleam, which I believe I bought one, which added water strike to our weapons. Well, in the Thunder Plains, It's the same deal, except it's lightning strike stuff. So this is kind of a theme with this game. Depending on the area of the world you're at, you get different elemental affinities and different gear from all the different shops. And as time moves forward, they'll tier this stuff up. Currently, we can only get a yellow ring, which allows us to cast Thunder. But maybe later we'll be able to cast Thundara if we buy a ring from them, or maybe even Thundaga. And the Gleams as well can get more powerful and so forth, and new wares will appear. That's kind of the way it works. I actually really think that the lightning gleams and the yellow rings are really useful, but much later in the game, and we don't even have the money to buy one of them right now, so I'll just point it out. These things are here. That's it. There's nothing else to do in the Thunder Plains in Chapter 1. It is worth coming here, maybe not to the travel agency, but at least loading in here gives you that cutscene, gives you a little bit of % completion. Basically just think of it this way. If you manage to trigger a cutscene, you probably got a bit of % completion from it. Not every time, but pretty much most of the time you got that little bit. And so that's really important if you want the final ending, the perfect ending. I will just point out as well, it's only relevant for the final ending of the game. It's only relevant for that. Anything else, you don't actually need 100% for. You just have to do other things, like resolve the issues in Spira. So I'm going to save here. We're gonna look at something really friggin' crazy, okay? Obscure, weird mechanical reward thing that you're never going to know as a default player. And so now I can take joy in showing you guys in the LP. These are the moments the LPs are for. Alright. Okay, so we're on the list. There's still a fair few places we haven't been to yet, but all in due time. What I want to do is take us to the Moonflow. Now, the Moonflow in the previous game was really just a long road with a little embankment in the middle where we could ride a shoe puff, a big monster thing, across the water. In this game, there's quite a lot of activity. Do you remember when we were in Guado Salam, which is right next to it, where they said, oh, yes, this is a great place for sphere hunters. There's loads of stuff going on. There's actually a fair amount of things going on at the Moonflow now, which we're going to check out. If we press X on it, you will see that it says there's a mission here. The place is not a hot spot, so it won't progress the main story, but there is a mission here. And for the record, everything I'm about to tell you is purely about side quests, okay? It says, guard the Hypello. It says, we're getting reports of bandits along the Moonflow targeting a Hypello freight wagon. Protect the wagon and pick up the reward. So that's what we're going to want to go and do. Now, this mission is the first in a really long chain of missions that take place throughout the game. And you have to complete every single one of these missions to complete the side quest satisfactorily. Basically, in Final Fantasy X-2, you can either get an episode complete, which means, yeah, you did perfect, everybody's happy, the world is at rest, or you can get episode concluded, which basically means you messed up, something bad has happened, okay? So if you want episode complete, if you want the world to be happy, you have to do this long chain of missions at the Moonflow. This is the first one. By getting episode complete everywhere, this unlocks you, ultimately, a special dress sphere at the end of the game, and obviously gives you that 100% for the perfect ending. So, all that said, you might think, okay, we want to do this mission then, right? And you're right, we're going to be doing that in this LP. But here's where things get really weird. You can actually be rewarded for not doing certain things. Because there's this idea of New Game Plus, where you go back through the game and do it all again, and get to keep your items and stuff, you can actually do a playthrough of the game where you say, screw you to all of you guys, and you never go to the Moonflow. And by never going to the Moonflow, okay, this is one of our options. We currently have 3 options, right? Option number 1 is we never go to the Moonflow. If we don't go there, events will happen, this cart will get attacked, and no one will save these people, and then story will occur in the next chapter of the game, which gives us a totally different branch and a totally different reward. And that reward is actually one of the only ways in the entire game to get break HP limit gear. If you don't know what that is, it's just very, very, very good gear, okay? But the only way to get the gear is to say screw you guys and not go to the Moonflow in Chapter 1. I'll be showing that off in the LP, don't you worry. But for our sake right now, I am going to go and do this mission, and we are going to, go ahead and get the episode complete stuff.
Spira's landscape really hasn't changed much since then. If anything's changed, people seem to smile more often now. It's as if they finally have time to notice the beauty around them. Hey, this is nice out here.
What?
People out enjoying nature. It's very peaceful.
Sure is. A lot of people are traveling these days, trying to learn more about Spira.
Thanks to you, Yuna.
I had nothing to do with it.
Go on, give yourself a pat on the back.
Oh, I think you deserve that. So, we're in the Moonflow. Check it out. We got a bunch of people we can talk to. This kid says, with all the travelers passing by, it's fun to stand here and watch. Oh, no, that was the lady. Sorry. And the little kid says, I want to ride a shoe puff. Oh, you do. Here you'll notice there's a bunch of Hypello and this little penguin-looking dude here. In the previous game, in the previous LP, you may have remembered whenever we saw a little penguin-looking dude, I was like, hey, this is like a character from the second game. That's that character. His name is Tobley. We're going to talk to him in a second because this is where it gets even more complicated. Remember, we have two options right now. Either come here and do the mission or leave them all alone for some really powerful gear and a sort of a branching story. This little kid says, shoe puff, shoe puff, shoe puff. This lady says, that child just doesn't want to sit still. Nothing like an annoying child with too much energy when you want to be an old grump. Those monkeys haven't shut up for more than a minute all day. Hey, and the dad's annoyed as well. That's brilliant. Or maybe they're not mum and dad. This place would be just perfect if it wasn't for the bandits. Bandits? Careful, I think that guy sitting over there might be one of them. Are you a bandit? Me? I'm trying to figure out what to do about the goods the bandits took from me. No, you were stolen from also. She must be really excited about riding the shoe puff. Wait, this is a girl? Oh, I guess it is a girl. Wow. I see that now. I always thought that was like a male character model. Have you ever ridden a shoe puff? There was a time in my life when I was studying linguistics that I knew the academic term for when a child messes up like that. And now I've forgotten it. That makes me sad. This woman says, shoe puffs are so wonderful. Being around shoe puffs is like this helps me forget all my troubles. This dude over here says, such a sizable tail. Charming. This is the same shoe puff that was struck by Jekt 12 years ago now in the back of the leg. This Hypello says, the shoe puff is snoozing. Come back after it's awake, yes? I am on shoe puff duty. Duty. It has been a busy day. Okay, that's what the shoe puffs say. G'day, mate. Did you know that the Guado Salam is a gathering place for sphere hunters? I didn't know. So there's actually a screen over here, okay, which in the previous game we could travel to. This game, it doesn't exist anymore. That was a place where we had shops and stuff. That's where we bought a particularly powerful weapon from like a hidden merchant for Lulu, if you remember. That had death touch on it. Made for some pretty hilarious moments. But okay, so do I want to save? No, it's okay. Right, so we've come here. Now there's another branch, right? Once you've chosen to do the mission, you have a choice. You can go and do the thing with the cart instantly without talking to Tobley here, right? If you do the thing with the cart without talking to Tobley, then you will get a different story than if you talk to Tobley first. Now, both of these stories will enable you to get episode complete, so everything will end satisfactorily, whether you talk to Tobley first or not. But if you don't talk to Tobley first, you will miss like 0.1% of 100% completion for the game. So you won't get the perfect ending. Everything in Spira will end satisfactorily, but because you missed that cutscene, the perfect ending is locked out for you. So why would you not want to talk to Tobley first? Well, just like before, where if you choose not to come to the Moonflow at all, you get a reward, here you get a special reward as well. If you don't talk to Tobley, you miss the 100%, but you get a really cool accessory, and I'm going to show you guys that as well. So, let's talk to Tobley. Now you guys know your three options. It gets even more complicated than that as well, but I'm not going to bog it down, I promise you. This is just an example of how obscure and weird the game is. People say that literally X-2 was made just to sell video game guides, and can you blame them when things get this crazy complicated? But, yeah. Who the hell are you?
On this spot, I'll be sponsoring an extraordinary show. Do come. Oh, and I'm Tobley. Yep, it will be splendid indeed. Mark my words, people here and there and merriment everywhere.
Hey, that sounds like fun. Okay, well, we'll see you then.
Wait. I have a favor to ask of you.
Let's go.
Okay. After all, we're sphere hunters.
Righto.
Oh, let's hear him out.
Oh, here's the thing, you see. My able assistant hasn't come back. From Luca, of course. Where else? He went to fetch some supplies, which are vitally, crucially important for the show, you see.
Go check on him, right?
Oh, quite.
Why ask us?
Because you are sphere hunters, and sphere hunters hunt spheres.
That settles it.
Right. It's yours if you return my assistant safely back to safety. I'm thinking he must be over in the general vicinity of Jose Temple. Oh, and he's Ipello.
Okay, right, so now that tells us, okay, this is where the guy is and we go and do it. But we now, like, the whole context for us doing this mission has now changed. If you really think about it, it has changed. This lady says, I've got my eye on Tobley. He's got something fun planned, I just know it. So the context, this person speaks as well, says, ours is an age when even an old coot like me can travel, provided I beware about the fiends and bandits roaming around. It's a bit like real world, right? My, the Moonflow certainly is a bit bustling lately, isn't it? Well, it is a beautiful place. We're not here at night either. How much does this suck right now? Okay, it certainly is captivating. So yeah, now we're doing the cart, but we're doing the cart specifically to help this little guy wandering around. Well, what if we, and because he's offering us a sphere. Well, what if we didn't talk to him first? Well, we wouldn't have seen that cutscene, so we'd miss a tiny bit of % completion. But, you know, who knows what would have happened. Anyway, for now, we're just going to try and find the cart. This guy says, lately there have been a good deal too many bandits wandering through these parts. You'll notice we actually skipped a fair amount of this screen here. There was a lot more to explore on that road previously, but that's not there at the moment. That does it will reappear, I'm pretty sure, later on in the game. And it's not necessarily them trying to cut stuff out, like that they were being lazy. It's not like, oh, they were making X-2 and they were too lazy to have the full map there. They literally just imported the maps from the previous game. They have removed the playable space there, just like they did in certain other areas, just because it makes the game more entertaining. People don't want to have to walk along this entire long length of road multiple times every time they come back to the Moonflow, right? So they shrink the area down slightly. It's different to what we were experiencing in 10, where it was just a long road, and that was okay because we were only going through it the one time. You know, I have seen criticisms at this game. There's like, oh, why did they shrink certain areas down? Yeah, they added a lot of new areas, but you know, they cut, and it's nonsense. You know, it's actually a design decision. It's not laziness or stupidity. It makes sense. Anyway, so yeah, we'll keep going. As you can see, not too much going on down here, but we are heading closer to Jose. Now, so if you wanted to do this mission without talking to Tobley first, because you want that different branch of the story, because it gives you some really awesome loot, and it still completes it gives you episode complete and the special dress sphere, but you miss 100%, but you've already got the percentage because you did a new game plus or something. If you want that situation, oh look, there's a guy up there, hey. Then you could totally just go to the cart from Jose. You don't actually have to load directly into the Moonflow to do that, right? And that would be my recommended choice, and that's what we'll be doing in a moment. So continuing along here, I think this is actually a different camera angle to what we saw in the previous game.
I'm in trouble.
Trouble? Really? Hello? Oh, you've got a chocobo here. Quee! Quee!
You're Tobley's assistant?
Yes. Are you friends of the chief?
You sure are. You just sit back and let the goings escort you back to Tobley.
Thank you.
Alright, so the mission will begin here. That cutscene, obviously, well, if we hadn't spoken to Tobley, would have been a bit different. And this is actually a failable mission. So it says, shave the Hyperloop. If bandits grab the cargo, chase them down and take it back. You'll lose the cargo if they get away. So your objective is to escort the wagon and its cargo safely to Moonflow. There are 5 bits of cargo on the wagon right now. You can see them, 3 suitcases. If you're bad at this, literally every single one of them will get stolen. And this will change the way things move forward, like in later chapters, and basically cause you to mess up the episode complete, and you'll only conclude stuff. So you want to be careful with this. Ideally, you want to get all 5 bits of luggage saved, which is exactly what we're going to do here. This guy says, lead me to the Moonflow. I don't know whether talking to him was smart there, because the cart is just moving away from him. So if we stay close at all times, you'll notice that we get random encounters, but still with fiends. But there are bandits around. And remember there was that guy on that cliff? Yeah, that seems kind of scary, right? You also see the enemies here at the Moonflow are dying a bit quicker. I haven't really talked to you guys about this, but some areas and some chapters are much more dangerous than other areas and other chapters.
Oh no, bandits, we are under siege.
And he's running off, so we want to go and grab him. Like so. Pretty simple. To tell you guys the truth, I really can't remember how difficult this is going to be. Oh god, I feel bad. Anyway, we'll kill that guy. So Pain learned Magic Break. This lowers the magic damage an enemy can inflict. There we go. And he gave us a grenade for killing him too. Oh, right. We had to walk forward a little bit. Okay. We had to walk forward to get the cart moving. Okay. But as long as we stay close, so there's a bandit there. So, when's he coming down, though?
Bandits, we are under siege.
2 more bandits. That's kind of scary. But we'll get an encounter with one right away. Now, this encounter gave us 2 bandits, but there was only one on the screen. I don't know whether this is like they're going to double up. Very simple stuff, though, right? Like, you really don't have to worry very much about the battles themselves. Especially considering we've done other areas already. We've been to the Thunder Plains. We've been to... Well, some of them were non-combat. All right, we'll get this guy too. Oh, Pain hit him so hard there. You'll really learn to appreciate the impact that accessories have on the damage you do in this game. The stats are the same, okay? Well, it's a weird... This isn't really an appropriate time to do it, but screw it, we'll do it. So if we go to, like, equip, okay, and then Pain, we'll have a look at her stats, right? So you got strength, magic, defense, agility, accuracy, evasion, luck. These are actually the same as we had in Final Fantasy X. And you'll notice that already Pain's quite high with some of these. The max is still 255. So her defense right now is at 100, and you can see there's a little yellow bar under that indicating how close she is to max out of, you know, the full 255. So she's actually quite far, and this is because she's on the warrior dress sphere, which has boosted her quite a lot. You will find accessories that give you like plus 60 strength straight away. Now, I may remind you guys that basically at the very end of the game, before you do side content stuff in Final Fantasy X, 60 strength was like really, really high. Like 100 strength was like end game levels. Pain's already at 56. And this is because you level up traditionally as well now, which I believe affects the scaling and so forth. It's kind of cool. It means that if you do like a new game plus, where you complete the game, you come back with all your old items and accessories, you can suddenly have a huge, massive stats right at the beginning of the game just because you have these insane accessories that like double the potency of everything or whatever. Anyway, he says lead me to the Moonflow. We're going to walk forward slightly. And here we go. We still have all 5. There was that bandit behind us, though, so you want to be careful. I've really got my eyes open right now. Stay by the cart would be my recommendation. I can't claim to be an expert on this.
Bandits, we are under siege.
We are under siege. I'm going to just take it. Yeah. Look. There is an extra bandit there. I knew there would be behind us. So there's 2 right now. Is this guy dead? I actually agree that these guys are kind of easy to kill. It'd be really lame if every single one was a massive struggle.
No problem.
But I also don't like the thought that we are literally just beating the crap out of these guys. You know, murdering them. I really don't think it's murder. Whenever this game depicts you killing someone or like breaking them in a battle. No, you don't. Get back here. I really don't think it's murder. I think it is just beating them up. It's like the LeBlanc Syndicate. We beat them up over and over and over again. And then they come back and they come back and they come back, right? May as well mention this too. Every dress sphere in the game doesn't just change your abilities. You still got all 5, right? Yeah, it doesn't just change your abilities. It changes like the battle stances people have, the animations they have for attacking, the animation they have for succeeding at the end. For example, if you make Yuna a warrior, maybe I'll show this off. It'd be kind of cool. I'm not going to go talk to you. I'm not going to risk that. In fact, we might be done. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, you've returned.
Thanks to these ladies.
Yep. Of course, you've been most helpful. With this, the show is just a step away from smashing success. Here, as promised.
All right, there we go. So we scored the Gun Mage dress sphere. This isn't actually a movie necessarily. This is another class for us.
Oh, and take this
and
with
a
you
really
too,
cool one of that.
everything you've done.
And he gives us a circlet. So this is our reward, the Helios Guard Garment Grid 2.
It's such a good fuzzy feeling meeting reliable people persons such as yourselves. Yes, sirree.
You're very welcome.
Just remember, it was the Gullwings that helped you out.